Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We just had probably one of the most legendary races in Formula One, and I don't discuss a whole lot about my fandom of Formula One or watching the races or anything like that, but I felt like this was a perfect opportunity to discuss it because this last race weekend was absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you've watched the race, but it was Formula One in Brazil in the rain. That's about as good as any racing is going to be when you're knowing the rain is coming. It's the race to turn on. And I am of Dutch heritage. Max Verstappen is of Dutch heritage. My father came here when he was a kid from Holland. And so when he got onto the grid as the youngest Formula One driver of all time, right away I was pretty drawn to watching him, just from the connection of being from that part of the world. And it was pretty entertaining to watch. At the beginning you could tell that he had a lot of skill and a lot of talent, and he was very aggressive and he wanted to prove himself out there on the track. And being a race car driver myself, somebody that's quite, I wouldn't say maybe aggressive, but assertive, and always willing to push myself and learn new things and try new things. It was pretty awesome to watch this young talent come out and do so well. I love so many of the drivers on the grid. Watching Ayrton videos and watching Michael Schumacher videos, like all of us probably do. It's pretty fantastic to watch those guys and watch history. Watch reruns of the races on the Formula One channel, which is pretty fantastic. But to be able to watch and experience some of these races in real time, you can always kind of tell when something legendary is happening, something iconic, something that's going to be looked at in the future as greatness. And Max has had just countless of those situations on track. And I think is he 25, 26 years old is all right now. And you can just tell that he does have something that the greatest of all time have. And the rain definitely brings it out in him. He's had some fantastic rain drives. Now, let's be clear, all these guys on track, I'm not going to take anything from them. There are 20 guys on track that are absolutely the best drivers in the world, or at least they're going to compete with the best drivers in the world. They're the ones that have made it to the echelon, which is Formula One. So they all deserve respect and they all deserve credit. I absolutely love watching Lando, and I love watching Piastri and Max and Russell and Ocon and Albon and Gasly, and all these guys are out there pushing themselves. Leclerc and Sainz are just fantastic drivers. Every single one of them are fun to watch. It's always fun to watch, when they get a good car underneath them and how they manipulate that car around the track. And so the key is always understanding, these guys with the right equipment are going to do very well. But there's always going to be somebody that's going to stand out above the rest. And this year has been a fantastic Formula One year. We've got Lando Norris competing for the championship. Honestly, Piastri, Leclerc, all those guys are kind of there. Of course, Lando's the only one left at this point in the season that could potentially overtake Max. But first of all, I'm going to just say something about the competition and the discussions about how good Max is versus Lando and all these things. Well, one of the things that I can take right from the top and say, hey, the most important thing in Formula One is doing the absolute best with the equipment that you have. And if you have the best car on grid, you have to take advantage of that. Last year, 2023, Max won like 19 of 21 races, or 22, whatever it was. And everybody, Max just has the best car. Absolutely, Max had the best car. But you still have to put that best car in the situation to win. And you have to. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. You have the best car. The only way that you're going to be a world champion is to win when you have that car. And sadly, Lando has had the best car for at least half the season in 2024 this year, and he just hasn't capitalized on having the best car. He's had amazing qualities. His car is definitely all there in race pace, faster than anybody else's car. So he's definitely manipulating the car to be that fast, but he's not winning the races. And so Lando is just at a point in his career where he needs to learn from all the mistakes that he's made, and he could still potentially be a Formula One world champion. But with 3 races left to go, 62 points down, it would be fantastic to watch him pull it off and beat Max. I mean, if he beat Max, I'd be the first one to say he earned it. But so far, it looks like Max is going to put it down. But with all that being said, looking back at the Brazilian Grand Prix was just absolutely epic. Max ended up having to start from 17th position on grid. There were 2 cars missing, so technically he was in 15th position. But he had to make up a lot of ground, or else he was going to be giving up points to Lando. And for Max to go out there and take 5 positions on the opening lap, and then methodically work through the field and make the passes that he made, and find the grip on track and drive to that absolute perfection. Anybody that has any question about whether Max is absolutely legendary, going to be placed up with the GOATs of all time, man, you didn't watch that race properly. So I would suggest go back, watch that race, watch Max in 2016 in the same Sao Paulo Grand Prix. But overall, just watch how excellent Max controls the energy transfer of the car. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people are maybe mistaken of. As a driver, you are basically proving physics. So that, there's the people that can't teach. So physics professors and all that stuff, they're the ones that can do all the math. They're the ones that can lay it all out there. They're the ones that could take every corner and every diagnosis of what the car went through and mathematically show you why it happened and how it happened. But the race car driver is the guy that goes out there and proves physics to the absolute brink of what the physics is. And they're transferring the energy in that car, to the absolute limit. And the best of the best, like Max in the rain, he understands how to transfer the energy in the car back onto the ground. And it's fantastic to watch. And as a race car driver myself, and learning how to transfer energy in a car and learning how to balance the car and all those types of things, when you watch it, you have to just admit that it's one for the record books. So if you haven't already, go back, watch the Sao Paulo Grand Prix 2024, watch Max, and that right there is the epitome of racing, legendary stuff.